Family of a University of Missouri student who suffered a devastating brain injury after allegedly being pressured to drink a bottle of vodka during a fraternity pledge party. They're speaking to ABC News as we get a first look at surveillance video from that tragic night. Will Reeve is back and he spoke with the family. Good morning again, Will.
Hey there, Michael. Missouri freshman Danny Santulli was just 18 years old when he nearly died from alcohol poisoning at a fraternity pledge event last fall. His family believes he was hazed, and now they're demanding hazing charges be filed against the people they're holding responsible for their son's severe and permanent brain injury.
Danny was always a good kid. He was happy.
This morning, a plea from a family desperate to make sure no one else experiences their pain after their son and brother, Danny Santulli, nearly died while pledging a fraternity at the University of Missouri.
I saw Danny in the medical ICU at the hospital at Mizzou, and it's just a bunch of tubes everywhere, and that's an image that will probably never leave my head.
Now, for the first time, the public seeing surveillance footage from inside the Phi Gamma Delta fraternity house on the night of October 19th. Shortly after 9 p.m., pledges can be seen blindfolded and led downstairs for a ritual known as Pledge Dad Reveal Night. According to the family's civil lawsuit that was recently settled against 23 defendants, Danny, an 18-year-old freshman, was pressured to drink an entire bottle of vodka.
They were given their family bottle of alcohol. And then they drank from it, and they took them upstairs, and for the next 2 hours, they drank and drank and drank. We see one of the fraternity members putting a tube in Danny's mouth with a funnel at the other end and pouring beer down his throat while Danny is in the middle of consuming an entire bottle of vodka. That's on the video.
Just before 11 p.m., Danny can be seen losing his balance and falling backwards. Other fraternity members carry him out of the room, pick him up, and drop him onto a sofa. Around 12:30 a.m., Danny, alone on the sofa, begins to slip onto the floor. As the minutes tick by, he struggles to move, then lies still. After 15 minutes, another fraternity member finds him on the floor unresponsive, then lifts Danny back onto the sofa. Other brothers come into the room. One picks Danny up and carries him toward the door, dropping him on the floor. Then outside, fraternity members carry Danny to a car and drive him to the University of Missouri Hospital.
Just the fact that they knew he was in distress and his lips were blue and nobody called 911. It's like, I don't know. I mean, a 6-year-old calls 911.
When Danny arrived at the hospital, he was in cardiac arrest and not breathing. His blood alcohol level, a near-lethal .486. After 6 weeks in the ICU, Danny was moved to a rehab hospital in Colorado. Now, more than 7 months later, he's back home in Minnesota with his family.
What did the doctors tell you about Danny?
That he'll need care for life. He's still not talking or walking. He's in a wheelchair. He lost his vision. But he hears us and he knows we're there. And we'll just keep fighting, and we're not going to give up hope.
We will get through it. We will get through it.
The University of Missouri has since revoked the fraternity's charter and proposed sanctions against 13 of its members. Prosecutors have charged one fraternity member with 2 misdemeanors for supplying alcohol to a minor. But the family says that's not enough.
Your family believes that Danny was hazed?
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It makes me sick to my stomach seeing the people involved that harmed Danny walking around campus acting like they did nothing wrong.
I do personally want to see specific kids get felony Ds. That's going to wake them up. A misdemeanor is not going to wake them up.
Missouri has what I would call a rather typical hazing statute. And the conduct that occurred that night at Pledge Dad Reveal Night is textbook hazing.
The prosecutor's office saying their investigation is ongoing and, if appropriate, will file additional charges. Danny's mom, Mary Pat, is now his full-time caregiver. His family focusing on celebrating Danny's progress day by day.
At the end of the day, it's still Danny, still looks like Danny, and we're going to love Danny forever, and we'll always be by his side no matter what.
Overnight, the fraternity told ABC News, quote, Danny should not have been put in such a situation, and the fraternity prohibits hazing and giving alcohol to minors. On Monday, the Santulis filed an amendment to their civil suit, adding 2 more fraternity brothers to the case. Whit.
As that family said, they're going to keep fighting to make a difference. All right, Will, thank you.